What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Combat Corporation, your source of combat sports. I'm your host, Al the Postmaster Mario. Today, I have a gear review on the MK1 Select Boxing Gloves. Alright folks, as always, I'm incredibly excited to bring you yet another gear review, as today I have the MK1 Select Boxing Gloves. And guys, I gotta tell you, this video is all because of you. Whenever I say to comment in the comment section below or send me messages on my social media, I always see your recommendations and I always take them to heart. And in this case, this is all because of your recommendations. These are the MK1 Selects that you guys have been recommending to me over the last several months. And I've had these gloves for about 2 months. If you watched my YouTube shorts, you saw that I did an unboxing on these, but MK1 is a brand that's been in the comments and in my messages for a while. I had so many people saying that these are the best gloves that they've ever used. They like them more than Winning, Rival, Reyes, and they're some of the best gloves out there, one of the best brands out there in general. So of course, when I see comments like that, I have to go and look into it. And I saw a lot of my fellow reviewers speak very highly on MK1, because initially I thought MK1 was just another Winning clone, but after going on their website and then looking at my other fellow reviewers like C Squared and Fit the Box, who I respect very highly, I found out that these gloves are indeed their own thing. MK1 is their own brand. They do everything by their own book, which is absolutely amazing. And honestly, after reading into them and looking at their social media pages, reading on their website, their blogs and stuff like that, their message just resonates with me. MK1 started, I believe, in 2019, if memory serves. It was 2017 or 19. And basically, their whole goal is to make equipment that's not going to blow up. In their own words, that's not going to blow up after 3 or 4 months, basically saying that they don't want you to spend an ungodly amount of money just for something to just fall apart soon. They also hate that there are massive brands out there that have a ton of endorsed athletes that will say this glove is amazing, even though it's really not, and then they're just going to fall apart. Then on top of it, they don't care about the design of the glove. They even say in the description of the MK1 Selects I have in front of me that they're not concerned about a flaming dragon being on the side of it. They are concerned with how the glove performs, and they just want something that basically looks basic but will get the job done above and beyond what they need. And you know what? There's a lot of different studies that they have on their website on different gloves. These are the MK1 Select, which is their premium model. They also sell the Mark 1, which I believe is just a synthetic leather version of this, so I'll have to get that somewhere down the line. Also on top of it, they have stuff like good headgear, cups, hand wraps, MMA sparring gloves. They also have, well, MMA gloves in general. They also have coaching equipment such as mitts and body protectors. So if you have anything that you think you might want after watching this video, you can go on their website and check that out as well. I can say without a doubt, this is one of the easiest gloves I've ever had to break in and review. And I mean that in the nicest way, because usually I try and have gloves, you know, honestly for a long time, anywhere from 4 to 6 months, especially when you spend a good amount of money on them, because I want to make sure that they're going to last a while. But there are some gloves out there that I just know are going to do a very good job, and in this case, these are doing such a great job so far. I've had them for 2 months, and I have more than enough information that I need to give you a solid review. So with that said, going into the exact model I have, guys, I got these in 16-ounce hook and loop closure, and I got them in the black coloration. You can get them in lace-ups in a couple more colorations. They got anything from red, green, white. They also have, in the lace-ups, they have a couple more options as well. They also have, I want to say there was a pink color and like a maroon color, a teal color, and they have a couple different colors in the lace-ups. But as far as the Velcro goes, you have them in, I believe it was just the 4. It was black, white, red, and blue. I want to say. So basically you're winning colors. And then on top of it, you can get them in a couple of different sizes from 12 to 16 ounces that I saw on the Velcro. I think they have a couple more size options when it comes to the lace-ups. But as you know, I like the Velcro versions of gloves because just the convenience for an MMA guy like me. I might go from this glove to an MMA glove a couple times during a practice. For all you know, you never know how it's going to go. So I like Velcro for the convenience. But overall, I got these in 16-ounce black colorway in the hook and loop closure. But once again, you got that available, a couple different sizes, couple different colors, and also lace up. When it comes to the look of the glove, very, like I said, they don't care so much about the look of the glove, they just care that it operates well. But honestly, it looks pretty stylish. It has a very nice black color that you have all the way throughout, except for the white piping that you can see there and the white lettering that you have on the logo and the white stitching that you have. It complements it very well. You have your MK1 logo going on the back here, which is 3 different grids, a little tiny dash out there, and then it looks like the greater sign right there, and has a little space in between. And then when we come to the thumb, you can see that that is also black. It's a completely black striking surface until you get to the front where it says MK1 right there, and that looks really, really good. Just the way that the light captures that. It shines really well off the light as well. When we go to the palm, and the grip bar, you can see that the grip bar says 16 ounces, and you can see the nice outlines of the double-lined white stitching going throughout here. And then you have like a silverish white thumb piping. You also have a black thumb attachment that is hidden right behind there. You can see all the nice natural grain marks too in the creases of the leather, which looks really nice as well. When we come down here, you can see some more stitching and black piping going throughout the palm. And the wrist strap, that says MK1 Select right there on the wrist strap, as you can see right there. And then when we go around to the back of the glove, you can see that we also have black piping throughout the wrist strap. Down here it says 16 ounces, another 16-ounce stamp. When we open the glove, it is a black interior lining, as you can see, and you have a tag on the inside basically saying that it was made in Pakistan and that boxing is dangerous. Be careful when using this equipment. And overall, the glove just looks nice. I like the black and white, especially the white piping and the stitching. Honestly, just sticks out really, really nice. I like how that works. Like I said, basic for me, I like basic because basic usually means easy to clean, easy to maintain, and easy to take care of. Very easy to maintain a very solid glove like this. Now, when we go into the design of the glove as far as build, we can talk about the outer shell, and in their own words on their website, buttery smooth outer shell of a nice high quality cowhide leather, and it feels absolutely amazing. I love how this feels. Very soft, supple leather, and honestly, when you take it out, the padding and the leather feels broken in. When I took it out of the box, it feels a little softer now after using it for 2 months. Naturally, it's going to, but not nearly as much as I thought it would. When you take it out of the box, it feels like you had used these gloves for a while, and they felt really good. But the leather is a really thick hide that you have over the padding, and it's a soft, smooth leather, like it says, a buttery smooth leather. And whenever I tell you guys this too, when you have a soft, thick hide over the top of padding, the padding's not going to be smushed down all the time. It's not going to be hard all the time. It has room to breathe, and that's why I love how this works. So the padding and the leather complement each other really well, and it's the same leather all the way throughout the glove. The wrist strap, the piping is made out of that nice leather, all that leather on the thumb as well. The thumb attachment is that same leather. They didn't cheap out on the thumb attachment. Some people do. It's the same exact leather that you have on the rest of the glove, and it just complements everything about the glove. The leather is absolutely outstanding, and then the padding is absolutely outstanding as well. Now, usually when you see gloves like these that kind of have that Japanese style design to it, it's a little different in that this glove is a little bit flatter than some Japanese style puncher's gloves or Japanese style pillow gloves. You can see that it's a tiny bit flatter, so you have more of a puncher's surface. It's not so rounded here, but what you have is, doesn't say necessarily exactly what it is on the website, but I have to assume it's a 3 to 5 layer foam padding method that you have going on here of your high density foams, and it's a little softer actually in some ways than say Winning or like a Top Boxer Win 1 or your Superior boxing gloves and gloves along those lines. It's a little bit softer than that. If I had to equate it to a glove that I think I felt this in before, it kind of feels like your Infinitude gloves, like the Raptor Extremes. It kind of feels like the Stealth X by Infinitude. It kind of has that soft, multi-layered, high-density foams. But the way it's mapped out, you can kind of see how it is a flatter surface, but it still kind of hugs around that knuckle area. So when I go to try and squeeze that in, you can see that it's staying tight right in the center of the knuckle. So I have to assume that they have some type of interior knuckle guard system that's going on in there, because it feels a little more dense right in the center. So I think the mold of the foam is definitely a little bit more centered for the overall knuckle protection. And you have that same type of padding that's going all the way throughout the back of the glove, and then you even have a slight raise here. There's a little bit of a firmer foam that you have going on here, more like a rubber patch. I'd say it's like a rubber EVA that you have going down here, and you can see that little lip with the stitching. And what that does, that little tiny divot, is going to allow the back of your wrist to stabilize, and I'll show it when I put the glove on, but it allows your wrist to kind of move freely but stay in a safe spot, which is good. You can also see that, like a lot of other Japanese style gloves, that the thumb is separate so it can have a nice natural curve. But like I said, it's not necessarily the same as like a winning thumb. It's a little different for me. You know, it's curved a little bit farther down. It's a little bit fatter than a winning thumb for me, which I like. I like a fatter thumb on the glove. And overall, the thumb is also very soft, very good to open and close, especially if you're into MMA or Thai sparring. It feels really good. Now, when we open the glove, you have a really reasonably sized wrist strap, which works with a lot of gloves, which I like. It has the piping to it. I don't like gloves that don't have the piping to it, because I think the Velcro can kind of come out and flay up. The stitching is absolutely well done. You can see that the machine stitching is absolutely great. That double line stitching we have all the way throughout. The grip bar is very, very well done. It's as soft as the padding in the knuckles as well, so it's overall just a soft glove. The interior thumb piping too is not stiff at all. That's also pretty soft. So when you put your hand in, you don't feel like, you ever have a boxing glove and you put it in, it just feels like that thumb piping is pushing down into the crook of your thumb. It's uncomfortable. I don't have that happening here at all with this glove. And you also have the same elastic strap that you get right in the center, just to keep the glove a little bit more tight to your hand. And it also opens very well. Tons of room on the inside of the glove. You also have some pieces of foam. It's just your standard EVA counterbalance foam, and basically what that does is it just adds more weight to the bottom of the glove, so it balances out the glove very well. And what that does, it also kind of hugs to your hand a little bit more. So it's very thin EVA foam at the bottom, just feels like rubber patches. Then the rest of the glove is just basically the leather on the palm, except for the grip bar on the palm. Overall, very comfortable, and the padding also sneaks right back to the tips of the fingers too, right underneath, so you got a nice comfortable finger. And to speak of the balance, like I said, it is a very well balanced glove. It's not too top heavy, it's not too bottom heavy at all. If I put it right here, the center, you can see that it's staying right there. I'm not altering my hand any. If I put it too far here or too far there, it will fall a little bit, but right in the middle, where it wants to balance on your hand, very good, which means that it's going to have a much easier balance punch, not going to be so heavy on your shoulders. Now, when I put the glove on, like I said, it opens very well and it stays tight on my hand. And it's just a comfortable poly cotton interior lining that you can see here. Let me take it off. And it's a very soft poly cotton lining, and it's very moisture wicking actually. I really like how it's very nice, dries out very quick when you have it out of the bag. You put that in and you have tons of room. If you want to wrap your hands up big for like boxing, and you like a really big boxing wrap, fits perfectly fine in here. A big professional wrap will fit fine, and it closes really good. And you can kind of adjust where the Velcro strap goes. I have it a little bit lower, so if you want even more wrist support, you can kind of strap it a little bit higher up here. But like I said, that little tiny wrist bar, and I love this design. I wish more gloves did this. That little tiny wrist bar here stops my hand from going back or down too far. Notice how that stabilizes my wrist, because here's the thing. Most people think when you break your hands it would go outward. It actually pops up like that. Your metacarpals and your metatarsals do. So it actually protects the back of my hand and my wrist really well, and going side to side it helps a lot. The other thing too is when I open the glove, it's very flexible, very good for tight grip. I gotta put this farther down on my hand. That's my own fault. Very good for tie grips, very good for overall grips in general. I like to wrestle in these when it comes down to my MMA Big O sparring. What I love too is that it's padded enough in the palms where if you do your Dutch style drills, it's still pretty good here, and that grip bar is nice and comfortable. Overall, comfortable glove, and it stays pretty tight on your arm. If you had hand wraps on, that's not coming off. If you are just a traditional boxer and you don't like the Velcro, I mean, you can get the lace ups and they're going to do the same. They're also lace and loop friendly for what I've seen in some other reviews. But with that said, let's go into the bag work so I can go into my final thoughts on these gloves. So when it comes to hitting the bag with MK1 Selects, the first thing you're going to notice is just how protective they are over your wrist and your knuckles and how you can just sink your shots into the bag. They're also pretty well balanced as far as weight goes. They don't feel very heavy at all in any direction. So they're very easy to just let your hands go, and they're very form-fitting to your hand as well. On top of it, the interior lining for me is just ultra comfortable, which makes the punching experience even better. And in general, one of the better bags I love to hit the bags and pads with because of the protectivity of it. So when you see the MK1 Selects, like they say on the website, they are not the most fancy gloves on the planet, but a lot of people I think can just appreciate that they are a basic glove that has their logo on it that does a good job. And that's the cool thing about these. They look sharp, they look stylish enough, and I think a lot of people are definitely going to think kind of the same thing as winning. You know what you're doing when you're using these gloves, so they look great to me. All right, folks, so my final verdict here for the MK1 Select boxing gloves is I've absolutely loved and enjoyed using them. I agree with a lot of people out there that these are some of the better gloves out there. Are they my absolute favorite glove I've ever used? No, because as you know, I like more of a puncher's glove, and although these do have somewhat of a puncher's feel, they are definitely in that pillow category. They're definitely more of a winning-esque glove, and for me, they feel very similar to another glove that I have by Sabas, the Sabas Super Soft. The padding feels virtually identical. The thumb feels virtually identical in a couple different ways. You know, the thumb on the Super Soft is definitely a little bit thinner. This is definitely more pattern after a winning glove, and the wrist strap is different. But overall, they, for me, are virtually the same glove, only I like the interior lining more on this. I like poly cotton more than I do that stretched nylon that you have going on here. And overall, I think these gloves are just as high quality as Sabas, and they're right around that same price range in the $200 mark. And so I think because of that, I do like these more than gloves, say like winning. I think that they're right in that ballpark of a top boxer win one, or they're better than the superior boxing gloves, of course, and they're better than a lot of other gloves out there. But they are in that professional price point of about $200, which, like I said, kind of competes with brands such as Reyes, as Rival, as some other brands out there such as Venom, Everlast. I definitely prefer to get these than two Power Locks, you know what I mean? I like these more than I do the MX by Everlast. You know, in general, I've absolutely loved using these gloves by MK1. They're very similar, though, if you've ever used a Sabas Super Soft, to those, in my opinion. They are very similar to those, but that doesn't mean that they make them any worse of a glove. In fact, these are very, very good, and I like these more than the Super Soft, just by a little bit because of some design changes. Overall, do think they're more of a pillow puncher's glove, so if you have brittle hands or if you have wrist or hand problems or knuckle problems, I definitely think this glove is right up your alley. I think you'd really enjoy using that. If you're a puncher, I'm not going to say that you're not going to like using them. It's not like they dampen your blow so much to a point to where you don't even feel like you're hitting the bag, but they are definitely not the most satisfying gloves for a puncher, if you will. You definitely get a good feedback and your punches sink in, and what I love is you can just feel your hand get protected every time you punch. Your wrist is in a great spot all the time. The interior lining is very comfortable, tons of room for a hand wrap as well, and they're sized perfectly. That's the one thing about these, that they are sized absolutely perfect. 16 ounce works perfect for my hand. I imagine a 14 would work perfect for someone that's supposed to be in that weight range. Same thing for 12. Overall, I think the people making these gloves know what they're doing and know how to market them very well. I think they are designed very well, and I do like them more than a lot of other gloves out there. And I would recommend these to a lot of people, especially if you want to spend that $200 mark. And on top of it, I think they're having a sale right now. And I think actually these gloves go for like $194. But at the end of the day, that's a perfect competitively priced range. I think if they sold them for $150, they'd be sold out faster than they already are, because that's the thing. If you go on their website, they're sold out already. They make very good looking stuff. For me, I equate it to a classic car. Looks great, basic, and gets the job done better than the others, and that's what I love about these. So if you were to ask me what my final rating bad grammar, would be for this glove, you know, I don't really have any negative points, honestly. They're built very well. They are put together very well. Everything about the glove is just good. the only way I can really be fair about it is give it a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I really give these gloves a 10 out of 10. They're comfortable, they protect you, they do everything that they're supposed to do when it comes to a boxing glove, and they're competitively priced around that $200 mark. And I would rather get these over than the new Reyes even, because I just don't like how the new Reyes are built. They're better than a lot of the Venom gloves out there. You know, are they my favorite gloves? No. You know what my favorite gloves are. I just released that video. But in general, I think these gloves do a better job than a lot of other gloves out there for that $200 price range. And like I said, if they dropped it to $150, which I don't even think they have to, these things would be sold out. They couldn't keep up with demand. Honestly, I think it's probably why they're at 200 bucks. But overall, super easy to maintain. They're great for sparring, great for bag work and everything along those lines. I really have no negatives about this glove other than if you're a puncher, they dampen the blow a bit much than I'd like to. It's not like you can't feel anything, like I said, but not enough for me to be happy with it. But overall, I would use these gloves all the time. They're very safe for sparring. They're very safe for anyone from any level, whether you be a beginner, intermediate level, amateur, or pro. I think you would really enjoy these gloves, and for any sport as well. If you're into Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, I think it fits all categories very well. Overall, MK1 designed a very, very good glove. Very comfortable, very functional. I think everyone would really enjoy using these. But as always, guys, just like how I got to this review, comment in the comment section below and let me know if you think that I'm off a bit or if I'm being too generous with my 10 out of 10 score. I think that's a very fair score. If I had to give them a tier rating, I give them an A or an S tier, basically meaning that they are excellent when it comes to an S tier, or A, which means they're great. I give them an S tier because they are definitely their own quality glove in their own ways. They are different than the other gloves that I've mentioned, and I would recommend these more than some other gloves that cost around $400 or $500, because why spend that when you can spend half of that and get the same exact quality for less price, which is absolutely awesome. But like I said, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Although it's a tiny little click for you, it means a lot to me. And at the end of the day, guys, follow me on my social media pages and message me on there. I don't always respond as quick as I'd like to, but I do always read them, which is a really weird thing. I should take the time to respond. I appreciate all of you guys reaching out. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for getting us to 7,000 subscribers. We're already at like 7.1, which is absolutely insane. We're growing faster and faster, and it's all because of you for making this possible. So please let me know what glove you want me to review next. I have a couple lined up in the near future. I had to take a little bit off because I got married, and then of course the week after I get married, I had pneumonia, so I couldn't really talk all that much like I am now. But I'm right back in the swing of things. I got a bunch of things coming. MMA sparring glove comparison video coming in the near future, hopefully within the next couple months. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching your source for combat sports. As always, I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.